Hi everyone, today I'll be unboxing my Tomahawk Max 2. It's a B450 motherboard for AMD. Okay, it has AMD Ryzen 3000 ready. I will be using it with my Ryzen 2700X because my 470 board I have upgraded it to Ryzen 5900 half a year ago. Okay, so what we have in the box, here is the motherboard. Let's put a little bit to the side. And in the case, okay, you have the back IO shield, two SATA cables. One is at 90 degrees and two is straight. Okay, this is MSI sticker, a quick guide so how to mine the how to incorporate your CPU, some thank you drivers which you will be getting from the internet, the much useful book in which you will see all the specs, especially the DIMMs when you want to put, if you don't populate all fours. Another, okay, and this little tiny package which has 3 tiny screws. I think this is for M.2 if you want to mount one. Okay, let's get to the board itself. Putting the shield to the side, all the paperwork inside, and close already. Let's see a little bit of specs. So it has debug LEDs, audio boost, USB type C, direct BIOS upload, so we'll be updating from a tiny button on the back, only using your flash drive. Okay, so here is the scheme, this tiny thing, USB flash. You also have a PS2 and DVI-D and HDMI, but you if you don't have an APU from AMD, you won't be using them. Okay, let's get out the board itself. Here on the back it has a little bit tiny sticker. Oh, this is nice. So it has a little tiny strip here, and you can see if it was unboxed because it leaves the marks back. Let's get the board. Okay, so this is the board itself. Let's put it into a different position. Okay, let's start from the top. You have here two heatsinks. Here is the CPU power. Here are the 4 DMI slots, the motherboard power. Okay, down here you have the MSI logo. Here on the sides, on the top, you must have some LEDs. Okay, what else? This is a nice reinforcement for your GPU if you have a heavy one. The M.2 slot is here. You have 6 SATA. These are doubles, and here down you have another 2. Okay, this is the USB 3.0 location. Let's get the board to a side. Okay, so this is the back layout. It's funny because all the ports are black, so you're just inserting, you see what lights up and you set whatever it is. This is the gigabit LAN. Is gigabit or faster? I think it's only gigabit. Okay, 3 USB 3.0, USB Type C. Oh no, they're USB 3.2 gen. Doesn't matter. Okay, the DVI and the HDMI. Here are up top are to USB 2.0. Here down is the USB flashback, and here is the button, so you can flash your USB your BIOS if you need it. Okay, so this is the back I/O and the back of the motherboard. Okay, so the board is installed, everything is running. As you can see, the board is here, serial number, and many are asking if this board can handle Ryzen 2700X, because it's not listed on MSI site. And here are the baseline. So the CPU is at 53, and system is mainboard is at 35. The MOS is on 39, and chipset temperature is 40. Okay. I also have the MOS here. Let's adjust a little bit. The RAM is actually clocked at 3446 CL16, and let's do a little stress test. So I'm running everything here. The CPU's clock at 3900. As you can see, it's stuck here. And let's see the temperatures rise and CPU MOS. How can they handle? This is so annoying. Okay, so the CPU reached 79 degrees, but it stabilized at 72, 76. The case is closed. Only the intake fans are not working. I have only the top fans that are plugged in the back one, which are exhausting the heat. And as you can see, the VR MOS are at 51. The test is running for 1 minute and 23 seconds. The CPU package is at 127 watts. So there is a lot of space to wiggle here. Let's close these. Leave only the sensors. Okay. As you can see, the CPU load is at 100. All cores are ramped up, the memory is full, no blue screens, nothing whatsoever. I actually can run this chip, my CPU at 4.1 but with Noctua NHD15, and is also at 1.25 volts. I'll let a little bit the test for running. So now it's at 3 minutes. I will let it for about 2 or 3 minutes more, and let's see how the MOSFET's temperature are. So I'm here after 11 minutes almost. So the MOS has stabilized around 61, 62, as you can see. From 6 minutes up it was at 61 and just bouncing around. So the MOSFETs can handle pretty well. One main disadvantage, the CPU cooler speeds all the 85 degrees on the MOSFETs, and I don't have exhaust, so basically I have a hot box. My back fan exhausts a very hot air. I forgot to mention, this is the latest BIOS, because with the BIOS which came with the board, it was R0 or something, so it's the first BIOS which came, and with which the board came, and the overclocking was not possible. Everything I set up 1.2 or 1.25 volts, my motherboard won't boot up. And on the latest BIOS from May, if I'm not mistaken, it is from May, I will show you. It runs very, very good. I also added a Wi-Fi, so H50 or H5 something. The first one was H0. It works very, very well. The overclockability and everything. As you can see, everything is stabilized. I also did some gaming, and my GPU was at 53, and you saw the MOS before starting this process was at 42. Okay. Next I will be showing a little bit of BIOS. So as you can see, this is AMD Adjessa 1.2.0.2, and the memory I'm running is Kingston, which has SK Hynix DIMMs on there. Okay. And XMP 3000 is at CL15, and I am running EXP2, XMP2 now. Okay. So the benchmark is here. As you can see, compared to other Ryzen 2700X, which are on default, this has a single core of 9%, which is pretty nice because this is clocked at 3.9 gigahertz, and multi-core is 95. Let's see if we can disable this. And these are the scores. So at 1.25 volts and decent temperatures with the stock cooler, it's almost as the other CPUs in this category. To enter the BIOS, use Palm delete key. So this is the advanced mode. As you can see, the easy mode is this one. The advanced mode is you can see here CPU speed, XMP. You can select this from the start. You can see the vCore, the amount of RAM. In the settings, I usually don't click here. Only when I exit I save and exit. Here is the boot overdrive. Okay. These are our onboard configuration. You can configure USB, ACPI. Here is the M flash. If you wanted to flash a new BIOS, you need to click here, and after you click on M flash, it will restart, and you can run the new BIOS from an external drive or an USB stick. You can see it asks me to start again. The OC mode, it's normal or expert. On expert, the memory retry count, you can set it. This is the CPU ratio which you can adjust on advanced CPU. Here I enable SVM mode because it enables or disable virtualization, and this I run virtual machines on my computers. The spread spectrum. Okay, this is the front side bus FSB, so you can clock it. If I'm not mistaken, the 100 is more by far from 100, or if you click minus, you're getting minus. Let's see, or past 100 in small incrementals. Okay, next, the XMP profiles. You can disable memory try it. You have here presets, and you can select which one runs better. Okay, and here is the load line calibration and other voltages. I usually don't get in there. Only here CPU core voltage. I usually give it override mode and get it to 1.2 or 1.25 for longest longevity of the CPU. Let's click the DRAM voltages. I don't know why they are set so high. Maybe because the Infinity Fabric clocks itself higher. But on my other motherboards they're very tight. The CPU specification and memory Z. Okay. Usually gave 7 changes and reboot. Okay. So this was my unboxing and run on this motherboard. I actually used it for 2 days. This is my second video. Thank you for watching. Like if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and have a nice day.